Hey everyone, how are you? We decided to just do a last minute getaway and we just jumped in the car, threw some gear and some packs and have headed down a 3 Mile Dam down in the Snowy Mountains. What I love about 3 Mile Dam at this time of year is you can park and walk in to a pretty accessible campsite. So with kids in it, it's really good, but you're just not going to be lumped next to four-wheel drives and bloody Bluetooth speakers and what have you. So we've just parked, walked probably 200 metres in, and we have the whole campsite to ourselves this weekend, which is fantastic. So a nice campsite by the water, and we're just going to set up the teepee, fire, stove barbecue, and just have the night out. So yeah, let's do it. And cool, and you'll see I've left a little wedge there for our fire and our firewood. I'll take you in, have a better look. Got that little wedge there. I've folded that floor back just so it's nice and neat. A nice bare earth for our fire to go in, and a nice clean entry. We can also get out that side as well. Looking good. And we're all set up. Got the fire in. Can level that up. Our sad old chimney that we've had since day one have passed. It's had a flogging, including burning Scotty's bandana. Can't see any evidence of it here, so it must have absolutely disintegrated it. Or he spent hours picking it off. Going around, got a nice tight pitch. When you get to the bottom of the slope, you do see it like bell out a little bit, but we're just using these little straps that we've got. We call them the summer straps, so they get up that, we can get them a little bit higher to get some ventilation. And other than that, I reckon we're looking pretty good. Cool. We're going to set our beds up. The boys carried their own gear in today. Obviously we haven't got lots of backpacks for the kids, but Jez, what backpack have you got, buddy? Jez has got Dad's Mystery Ranch 3-day assault pack that's pretty precious to me. I use that on a few trips of Afghan and everywhere else, and now it's Jerry's backpack because it adjusts really small. Sad thing about Mystery Ranch, getting bought out by Yeti. Awesome backpack. Now they come in pink with Yeti written on them. Cool. Well, we're going to set up our beds. Yeah. I like to keep all my sleep gear inside the pump sack for my Thermarest. I use the Thermarest now XT mat. What better you got, Jess? Gonna get your mat out and pump it up? Yeah. The boys like their Xped Ultra 5Rs. They're pretty good mats. Especially for the boys, they're nice and light, small, and they're still R5, which gives them plenty of insulation. We don't worry about electric pumps. That's just another bit of weight and fail safe. And these bags that come with it keep your gear nice and dry. I put all of that in another dry sack as well. So, but I just know that every time I check, I've got my pump sack. Yep, you got your sleeping bag, Jez? Jez has got one of my old Kuyu sleep bags that he loves. It's got a few holes in it from when they burnt it one night on the fire. Tom burnt it, yep. Tommy's off catching a dinner down at the river. That's why he's not putting his bed together, but he can do that later. Yeah. One thing I love about camping with the boys is I just make them do everything. Teaches them how to look after themselves. Teaches them what to pack and what not to pack as well. Now what you can expect is it's going to get cold tonight, but it's going to get really hot in here. So with these mats, I'd expect this to sort of, it'll go a bit softer as the air cools down, but then it'll go a bit tighter once it warms up in here, and it will warm up in here significantly. There's plenty of room. Love the Mont Helium. I only just switched to that from my old Kuyu bag for my last NZ trip, and so glad I did. Just that nice balance between weight and warmth, which is pretty cool. Just got to manage it a little bit with your condensation and getting it wet, but I just look after my sleep gear, I always have. Because we didn't have to walk too far tonight, I thought I'd just carry in the Stov barbecue. We've been loving that for cooking just because it's so easy. It's pretty portable, like really quite a capable barbie. Paper thin, about the size of a laptop. And you can just set it up nice and easily. No moving parts for it to go wrong. And we love it because we can have a nice little barbecue when we're out without the admin of a Weber or having a fire, running off the jet boil gas as well. Makes it handy. The Stov's nice and easy to get fit together. It all just slots together with this little system here. No moving parts and hinges. I reckon you hardly even need instructions too. In saying that, I can always hear Freddie yelling at me that I'm not doing it the precise way that Freddie does it, and he does everything very precise, hence why Stov is such a good product. As far as cleaning goes, I just pressure wash this thing at home. Just squirt it with a bit of Barbie cleaner and just pressure wash it. Actually, last time I washed it was when I was washing the car. I just used the car wash stuff. That's it, simple. There is no wind tonight. I will not need the wind guard. Dinner tonight is broccolini cooked on the Barbie, just in foil with a bit of olive oil, and a couple of little tomahawk steaks that we're going to cook up. Just sear them up on the stove. So I'm going to prep them up now. Out here, I'm not much of a fly fisherman. I just got taught by my mate Dimmy and JP last year, and I got right into it. Not catching many fish, but I do like just being out here in the quiet. And there's something else that you guys don't know about me. This is the big reveal. Oh man, had to get glasses. Been putting it off for years. 12, 13 years ago I got glasses, but it was just too hard with the work that I did, running, etc. But I finally caved, and here we are. Big reveal. What's on Dave's face? Cool, so the temperature's really dropped off here now. So as the temperature drops, the tepees they expand and contract a little bit with the heat. So you'll see it's just lost that perfect little shape. That's why we've got that adjustable pole. It's now timed. If we just put it up one little click, one click of the pole is enough just to make it nice and tight again. And I can just adjust a few of the little straps, and I'm just going to go around and just whack some guy ropes in just to give us a bit more volume on the inside tonight. Yeah, I don't do them all, I just do them like where we're sleeping, and they don't need to be tight either. Pretty much just pull them so it takes a little bit out of the little bit of slack out. Stunning night out here now. Got the stove going, just cooking up our broccolini. which we got steaming away in some olive oil, bit of salt, and some foil. A few other people over the dam. Tepee's all set up, ready to light the fire. These guys are belting out some last minute of energy. It's going to be a good night. Ooh, our broccolini's looking good. That just steams away in there. I'm no chef, but I'm pretty friggin' good in the kitchen, I know that. So this barbecue, it should have written on it, this is not a toy, because it ain't. I like to use the old Jess Pryles JKF method. I'll just keep flipping. Oh, look at that. These guys have come running in. They're like kookaburras when they hear food getting cooked. Yeah. But they're like blisters when it's hard work to be done. Well, we'll just keep cooking this and enjoy our dinner. Right, we're losing light, but I reckon we're pretty done. What do you think, Jez? Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Broccolini sizzling away. Alrighty, everything's done. We just rested these steaks for a little bit. We're just going to raw dog it tonight. We're just going to cut them up. And everyone's just going to eat the strips off their plate. Oh, look at that, perfect. There's yours. The light's dead, but that's pretty good. There you go, mate. We don't need to wash up when there's no cutlery. Go for it, bud. Come here, Jezzy. Alrighty, it's a bit hard for me to see, but we're now retired into the teepee. We just spent our dinner, we had dinner outside and we just spent, what, half an hour just fending off this fox, eh boys? And this fox had no fear of us. We're in the middle of a national park at a campsite and the fox is he was within a metre of us, trying to get to our dinner, and he just kept coming back and back. I'm not gonna lie, I did try and knock it with an axe about a dozen times, but yeah, I don't know if you think foxes are cute. I think, yeah, they could be, but so are our little ringtail possums, echidnas, all the other animals that they just are decimating at a rapid rate. So it's funny, foxes and brumbies in this national park just seem to be the only thing that's protected because they're just running rampant, and no one's doing F all about it. You can also see this fire is cranking. Tom's just made himself a brew. We've used a mixture of just twigs that we found on the ground, and I actually just carried in our own iron bark from home just because you don't really want to be collecting wood in a national park, and it just burns so well, and this is a bit of a lazy camp for us, so why not? But it is cranking in here. It's dry, we've got the party lights up, and we're just going to sit in and just try not to kill each other watching Jerry lose at Uno. After a bit of frosty night, it was about -1 this morning outside when we woke up, but we got the fire back on, hot water's done, coffees are made, Tom's having a chai, and I think we're just going to cook some water up and have maybe a rat eggs or some porridge for breakfast, aren't we? Cool. But it was pretty cozy in here last night with all of us. Kept the fire going and just put some good logs in it, and it just went out sometime during the night, but by that time we're already in the sleeping bags asleep. The audio might sound a bit funny now because our microphone tripod fell over and it broke the little adapter for the DJI, but we'll see how that goes. And apologies for looking like crap in the morning. I'm only halfway through my first coffee, so it's going to take a couple of hours for me to look a bit good. Hey, so we're just about to pack up. It's windy as hell down here, and it's no good for fishing, but we're just going to meander and explore our way back to Sydney. But I just wanted to show you the temperature difference between the hot tent. I've got the Kestrel out. It's 5 degrees out here now, and it's howling a pretty strong wind. I'll just show you the temperature. Can you see that temp, no dramas?
Yep.
Yep, cool. So it's 5 degrees outside, and we're going to go inside and take another. Cool, so we've just come back inside, and already we're sitting up. It's jumped from 5 degrees up to 17 degrees, and I'm taking a temp at sort of head height. I could cheat and just hold it above the stove, but I'm not going to. Just to show you the difference in ambient temperature. It's at 12 degrees, which is a fair bit, and 17 degrees is pretty comfy in here. I think if I hold that up a little bit higher, we'll probably get a bit of a higher reading as well. But I just wanted to show you the difference between outside temperature, inside temperature, and there's no wind for having a hot tent. What that means for us on the ground is we can be more comfortable for longer out in this sort of environment, and we can go camping where there's no crowds, less people, and just get more of a feeling of remoteness, but while remaining comfortable the whole time. So I hope you've enjoyed this little snapshot into how we go camping. A nice easy walk in from the car park, set up just for a night, cook a feed, bit of fishing, and it's been a really nice escape. If you've got any questions, just drop them in the comments. Please subscribe to our channel as well. We need to get our subscribers up so we can introduce more features that benefits you guys. Till then, catch you later. Cheers.